This is the Bug Chef demo as a part of the Natural History Museum Bug Fair. My name is Aly Moore, and I eat bugs, and I cook with bugs too. Today I have a special treat for you. We're gonna get a little bit more complex than we've done at other cooking demos since we are in my kitchen. What we're making are Italian stuffed mushrooms, and traditionally this is done with some breadcrumbs, but instead we'll be using crickets. So the ingredients that we need for this are, the ingredients, I like about 36 medium whole fresh mushrooms, but I have a bowl full. We're gonna need 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of chopped green onion. We'll need a 1/4 cup of chopped red bell pepper. We'll need 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and I'm gonna be mashing up some crickets instead, some dried whole roasted crickets. Then we need about, 2 teaspoons of seasoning, and also a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And I've used Italian seasoning, combined the salt and pepper in here already. And then you can do about a tablespoon of grated Parmesan pepper. So the first step in this whole process is to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, which I've done. And next I'm gonna walk you through making the food. All right, so I'm gonna be walking you through the first step of these stuffed mushrooms. The first thing we're gonna do is we're going to take the mushrooms and we will be twisting the stems off to remove them from the mushroom caps. So let's get to it. So we'll take the mushroom, just a little twist, and it's that simple. We're gonna leave the stems on the cutting board, and we're gonna put the mushrooms into a separate little bowl. Okay, so I'm gonna put the separated caps back into the main bowl. I'm just gonna hold them a little better. Great. And now with what we have here, we're going to finely chop enough of these stems to give us about 1/3 of a cup's full. So this much, which is only a little bit. Making sure we get them nice and fine. A couple more for good measure. Since this isn't that tightly packed, I want to make sure that we have enough. All right, so I've just finished cutting up my 1/3 of a cup of mushroom stems, and now I am cutting up some of the green onions down here. Can I hold it up? Woo! So we're gonna be chopping these, and we need about a 1/4 of a cup of them. So we have a 1/4 of a cup of the green onions cut up. Pour them in here. Also gonna add the red pepper now. And again, I've already washed these, so they're good to go. I'm gonna remove the top. Gonna get the seeds out. Give it a little rinse. Beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna cut this red pepper now. Okay, so we have the red pepper, we have the green onion. We're doing a 1/4 a cup of each. I'll combine them together into here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to move over to the stovetop. So we're going to melt about 2 tablespoons of butter, which is right over here. We'll melt 2 tablespoons of butter in a skillet over medium-high heat on the oven, or on the stove. And we're going to cook the chopped mushroom stems right here, along with our green onions and red peppers all together. But we're gonna do the mushrooms first and then add these in. So I'll take you over there and we'll give it a look. All right, so my butter is nice and melted. I'm going to add in the mushroom stems right now. Give it a nice little stir. Turn this down to medium low almost. All right, so those are looking nice. And we're gonna add in the red bell pepper and green onion. Give this a nice little stir. It's smelling so good. So we're gonna cook this for about 3 minutes, stirring occasionally, and then we're going to take it off of the heat. I'm going to turn off the stovetop. I'm going to remove these from heat, place them in a bowl, and then we're going to crush up some crickets, add in the crickets, add in the spices, the salt and the pepper, and have our mushroom stuffers ready. Alrighty, so we are letting the mixture of mushroom stems, red bell peppers, and green onions that we just cooked cool down just a tiny bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to prepare our crickets and combine them with the spices. So I want to make these a little bit more breadcrumby. So in order to do that, you could use a mortar and pestle. I don't have one over here right now. So instead I'm going to add them into a bag. Like so. Make sure that there's not too much air in there. And then I'm just going to crush them up. In case you're not familiar, these little guys are like nature's microvitamins. So for the same amount of, let's see, if you take like a serving of beef, which is like the palm of your hand or a deck of cards, for a serving size of beef and for a serving size of crickets, you're gonna get about the same amount of protein, and the cricket protein will be a little bit more bioavailable, which means that your body can absorb it more. It's in a form that your stomach can take and then incorporate into your body. The crickets also have all 9 essential amino acids. They have your branch chains. They have lots of iron, lots of magnesium, calcium, potassium. They're just really full of goodness. And so the whole point of what we're doing today is how can we incorporate these things into our diets in a way that is kind of familiar, less intimidating, so that you can start thinking outside the box next time that you're looking to cook something. And the flavors of these crickets are actually, I think, going to be super additive to this mushroomy mix. So a lot of people pick up like a soybean flavor, kind of like an earthy umami with the unseasoned cricket. I think that's going to go absolutely perfectly here. So when you're trying this, let me know what you think. I think it's kind of fun just to sit here smushing up a bag of bugs. Not something you get to do every day. Unless you're just cooking with critters on the regular. But let's keep on going with this. I'm gonna probably dive into it a little bit like this. Dun, dun, dun. All right. And you know what? While I'm doing this, I'm going to add in the spices that we had. Okay. And then I'm gonna get back to you in a minute once this is all crushed up. This is looking pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the mixture of cooked mushroom stems and green onions and red bell peppers, and we're going to mix in the little Italian spices, salt, pepper, and cricket mix right into here. We're gonna need a bigger bowl. So I have obtained a much bigger bowl just so we can kind of see what we're working with. Got some crickets in there already, but we're gonna pour this into there. Bum, bum, bum. Alrighty. And now, ooh, the crickets mixed in with this smells really earthy and really good. So I'm mixing up the breadcrumb substitute with our warm mushroom, pepper, onion mixture. It is looking delicious. I mean, it depends on what you're opinion of delicious is, but to me, this is smelling and looking absolutely phenomenal. So we're gonna get this all really nice and stirred up. I wanna make sure that all of the dry cricket and seasonings get mixed in with the buttery, heated up portion. Alrighty, so I have finished this mixture right here. It's all stirred up, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our cricket mixture and stuff them into our mushroom caps. So if you need to push it down just a little bit without breaking it, you can do that. I just tried to give mine a little bit more room in there, and I'm just gonna, I've washed my hands, we're good to go. I'm just gonna start packing them in. This mixture actually smells really good. I think that the outcome here will be kind of delicious. I'm really looking forward to it. These are looking pretty amazing. I don't know if you can see that. Boom, so we've stuffed our mushroom caps. Also, I've taken a pan right here, a baking pan. It's 13 by 9 by 2 inches. And I've coated the inside with about a tablespoon of melted butter. And now what I'm going to do is place the mushroom caps into the pan. We have our baking pan ready to go. What I'm going to do before I put them into the oven, which has been preheating up to 350 degrees, is I'm just going to take my Parmesan cheese, sprinkle a little bit on top. I love cheese, so I'm going to be a little generous with this. So I'm going to slide these into the oven for about 15 minutes. It's already super toasty outside, so I'm going to cool off myself, and then we're going to check out the final results. All right, so I put my hair up. It's getting toasty in here. It's super warm outside. I am based in Los Angeles, California. And we have just put a delicious smelling stuffed mushroom cap, cricket, onion, pepper mixture in the oven. I'm waiting about 15 minutes to take them out. And I figured that in the meantime, I would do some of the talking that is hard for me to do when I'm cooking. So you might have seen me at previous bug fairs. You might have seen me on Bugible, where I do blog posts. I also post on Instagram often under the name Bugible. I wanted to recap some of the things we went over today with the whole Cooking with Critters event. So a lot of people ask me, why eat bugs? And I respond, why not? You know, insects are they're not a novel food source. They're not something new. They have been eaten across the globe for thousands of years. Over 2 billion people today eat bugs. And you might find them in Bali in dragonfly soup. In Cambodia, they eat ants. In South Africa, they eat sago grub or sago grub or palm weevil larvae. Some places deep fry tarantulas. Others will serve up scorpions on a stick on the side of the street. But at the end of the day, the most important thing here is to have a bit of an open mind. You know, sushi was considered barbaric to eat in the US, I think, in like the 1960s. And it wasn't until a clever chef innovated the California roll, you know, kind of hiding the raw fish in avocado and rice and seaweed. And then a couple of celebrities were photographed eating it. Then sushi became not barbaric, but trendy, and it is today. So we're hoping the insects take a little bit of a similar path. And right now, you know, I'm here at home in the Safer at Home order in Los Angeles, and I'm sure you're somewhere staying safe as well during the quarantine. I thought it would be a good moment to talk about, you know, global food systems, global food security, and the importance of realizing that what you eat impacts your body and the environment. So, you know, insects are super nutritious. They have lots of the healthy fats, the proteins, micro and macronutrients. They're also really, really good for the environment, or at least easier on it than traditional livestock. They take less water, less land, less resources to raise. And then another huge part of food's impact on the environment is the transportation cost. But insects can be grown quite literally, not quite literally, but virtually anywhere. They're really interesting to think about for outer space food. And when we're thinking about cutting down on food transport, we can be growing bugs in densely populated cities. So I hope that after experiencing some cooking with critters magic and tasting what will hopefully be a delicious appetizer, you can use this experience to open up your own mind and kitchen to the idea of eating bugs, and maybe tell somebody else about it too. There are also tons of flavor reasons to eat bugs. If you're thinking about the future of chefing, it's going to be focused on things like sustainability and focused on things like really novel, interesting flavors. Insects kind of fit the bill. So what we cooked with today, crickets, they will have kind of, some people say they taste like an edamame bean or an unflavored potato chip, and that's not too far off. I believe that they are kind of like a soybean. They're a little umami, nutty. They're very earthy. And then you have mealworms, which are very similar to that, and to me they're a little bit, they have a little bit more like punch to them, a little bit more peanut maybe vibe. A lot of insects taste like commonly eaten things. I think a lot of the cricket mealworm types taste a lot like nuts or seeds. And then if you look at bugs like black ants, those are pretty cool. I encourage you to buy some if you can. All right, I'm taking you to peek in here so that you can see them cooking, because I'm going to want to use both of my hands to get them out of the oven. But oh yeah, it smells so good. You can't smell it right now unless you're actually cooking along with me, but it smells like this like savory, cheesy, oniony, Italian herb crickety dish, which is exactly what it is. So I have about 30 seconds until I'm going to take these out, and I will show you the final result. I just got done cooking the stuffed mushroom cricket goodness and have pulled it out of the oven, and I'm very excited with the results. So I'm going to show you just a little plate that I took, plopped a little 3 out of the pan so that I could show you the final product. Ta-da! We'll do some nice action shots soon, but once these cool off a little bit, you can eat them hot. I'm going to dive into them like right now, or in 2 or 3 minutes, or you can put them into a safe container and store them in the fridge and cool them overnight, and then serve them chilled the next day. I'm pretty sure it'll be good either way. The cricket mix in here I think is going to be absolutely perfect. The onions and the peppers and the cheese, it's just all nicely mixed in there. I personally love mushroom dishes, so I'm expecting to love this one too, and I'll let you know how the taste test goes. But this has been the first ever virtual webinar, Cook Along Cooking with Critters, and I'm so thankful to the Natural History Museum for continuing on the Bug Fair Fun, even though we are all doing our part and being safer at home. I think now's the perfect time to cook together as a family, to learn something new, to share a new recipe. And so this is my little bug extravaganza that I hope that you can enjoy from your own home. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about anything at all, bug related or not, I guess. And this has been an absolute delight, and I look forward to seeing you all in person next year at the next Bug Fair. My name's Aly Moore, and I run Bugible and eatbugsevents.com. Super, super grateful to have you all, and I will see you soon.